BF frequently cancels plans last minute due to low social battery, but ends up playing video games with friends instead. I, 25F, have been dating my BF, 28M, for a few months now. Overall, things with him are amazing and he treats me very well. I've been in a couple of really bad relationships and this one is night and day. He gets along super well with my family, introduced me to his friends who are also amazing, and often brings me hand-picked flowers or my favorite snacks. He even offered to help pay for a certification course that would push me further in my career. He's usually a great communicator, due to the fact he regularly attends therapy. My love language, for how I give love, is acts of service, so I love planning out fun dates and activities for us to do. We both work 9-to-5 jobs, so I try to plan these on weekends so we get the most out of the day. A month or so ago I planned a beach day for us. I asked him on Wednesday if he was free on Saturday, and he said yes. I told him the plan, and he seemed excited. On Friday, I bought all of the snacks, made sandwiches, a salad, and his favorite dessert. While texting him before I went to bed, I mentioned how excited I was. I fell asleep soon after. I woke up on Saturday to a text saying, "I'm really sorry, but I was with friends last night and honestly my social battery needs to recharge. Can we go tomorrow?" Due to this being the first time he's done this, I told him it was okay. I understand sometimes we need to recharge and have time to ourselves. However, I was still really disappointed and quite sad for the whole day. When Sunday came, it rained and we were unable to go to the beach. So the date never happened. Then, 2 weeks ago, I asked my BF on Tuesday if he was free on Saturday. He said he was, but he did have a wedding to attend on Friday, no plus ones allowed, but that he wouldn't be there that late because he has some negative history with some family attending. He said he'd be free from 12 noon onward. I planned a day of us going to the apple orchard. He mentioned he wanted to go, followed by a car show full of only Porsches, his favorite cars. On Friday night, I mentioned how I looked forward to our date. He texted me back saying he was still at the wedding, the family left, and that he was having a lot of fun. He said he was gonna crash at his friend's house, who also attended, for the night. There were sports games on TV in the morning, so he was gonna watch with him, and then go home as his social battery would be drained. This time, I gently expressed that this made me feel kind of dejected and sad, like I went through all this effort, and he doesn't appreciate it. He apologized profusely, but did not offer any compromise or solution other than canceling. That Saturday, he hung out with his friend into the afternoon, then went home and played video games with that same friend for 5+ hours. That brings me to this past Sunday. Once again, I asked in advance if he was free. He says yes. This time I planned a cozy low-key night in. He had mentioned a few different scary Halloween movies he hadn't seen yet. I decorated the living room in Halloween decorations, filled the couch with pillows and blankets, got tons of his favorite candies and drinks, and picked out a meal kit for us to make together. I texted him asking what time he was going to get here, and guess what? He once again texts me and says his social battery is low. I pushed further, asking what he did for it to drain as he hadn't seen me or his friends for 2 days. He said work on Friday was busy and frustrating, and he was still recovering. This time I told him how I felt like my efforts were unappreciated, and it crushed me to get all excited and be let down at the last minute. He once again apologized sincerely, saying how much he loves and cares for me and appreciates all my efforts. But in the end, he was firm on his decision that even this low-key evening would be too much. A few hours later, I notice a notification that he's Twitch streaming playing games with a friend. A stream that in the end lasted over 9 hours. Am I being dramatic to feel so crushed and disappointed by this? I am trying to be respectful of his needs and boundaries and not push too hard. However, while I appreciate his apologies, he is unwilling to compromise on this. I feel like the only solution in his mind is me rolling over and dealing with it. It feels like his needs are taking precedence over mine. I suggested he maybe give me a bit more notice, instead of waiting until I ask when he's coming, that way I don't get my hopes up. He says this doesn't always work because he doesn't know how he'll feel until the moment. I'm also a bit confused as to how he can still play video games with friends for 9+ hours if his social battery is so low. I want to work this through with him because I really do love him so much, and this is our only issue. It has only started happening recently too. Does anyone have any advice on what to say or do about this? Or feel free to let me know if I'm just being dramatic. Constructive criticism is welcomed.